Alright, so here's our butternut squash. Look at the color. How beautiful. Here we go. Look at that. There's some seeds here, but still a lot of flesh. Like that. So now, here is how we put it in the air fryer. This is a bunch here on the bottom. Look at that. Wow, looks amazing. Let's put them here. Let's enjoy a beer. Cheers! Butternut squash. This is probably in the top 3, maybe top 5 of my favorite veggies. There's so many ways you can eat butternut squash. You can eat it stir-fried, you can eat it like potato chips, fried, or in the air fryer. You can put it in soups. Anything you can do with pumpkins or other types of squash, you can do with these. And these here, they don't have a lot of seeds inside. They do have a lot of seeds, but it's a small space. So most of what you see here is just the squash itself. So there's really a lot to eat from it. So this is one of my favorites. So today, let's talk about how to grow butternut squash. Welcome to Self-Sufficient Urban Gardening. Okay, so let's start at the end, harvesting. So with butternut squashes, you want to wait until the stem right here is starting to dry. And then that's an indication that it's ready to go. So that's the time you can choose to clip it off and harvest. Also, you can see here the color. It's a nice tan color all the way around. There's no green basically anywhere. So this is a good time to harvest. So I did harvest this a couple days ago, and the skin is really so hard. This will last forever in your pantry, even much longer than regular pumpkins. I have another example here. As you can see, this one here is not as tan as this, but the vines, as you can see here, they're drying out. So this is because this plant is actually pretty old, and I got a few butternut squashes from this vine specifically, but there is one left here. Let me show you how dry this looks. I'm gonna cut all the way back there so you can see how the vine itself is super dry. So you can see here that this plant, this butternut squash, didn't really get the nice tan color. It's a little bit whiter, I'd say, but there's no green, as you can see here. And the vines are completely dry. So here is really the time for us to harvest it. Now, if you see any green spots on either side, it means that there's still some growing to happen, and you can wait until that happens before harvesting. This is a clear example of the time you need to wait. So you can see here this butternut squash is almost ready. You can see here that the stem is getting dry and the vines are really drying out, as you can see here, but you can see some green spots, green lines there. This means that there's still some growing to do and some maturing, so that the spaghetti squash gets ripe enough. So you can wait a few more days, and I will wait a few more days to harvest this one. A great thing about butternut squashes is that they're really resistant. And as I said, the skin is so tough that will last forever. So these two butternut squashes here, you can see they're split open, and I just let them grow. At first I was thinking maybe some bugs are gonna get in there or something, but they actually kind of heal itself with this resin, as you can see here. So these two butternut squashes that started opening, I just left them to grow, and here they are. Pretty good, and just gonna cut this part off, and we're definitely gonna eat these guys. So very resistant vegetable, and it will grow in any weather basically. You know, mostly in the summer and in the spring. I planted them in the spring to harvest them in the summer, and I harvested some of them, ate some of them, planted the seeds back in the summer, and here we are in the fall. They are still growing, so they grow most of the year. You can see here how my raised garden bed is up there. In the vines of the butternut squash, they just come and they keep going here. So here, this wall actually gives me partial shade. They get sun in the morning and, you know, midday up until 2 p.m. maybe, and then this wall here starts blocking the sun. You can see that this plant is already pretty old, so there's mildew here, but there's still a few butternut squashes growing. And look at the size of this one. This is huge. You can't see very well, but it's really, really big. Look at that. Much bigger than my hand. And it's still a little bit green, so we're gonna leave this one to mature a little longer. But let me show you the other ones I have right here. So if you keep going, you're gonna see another big one right here. And another one. This one here, I think, is the biggest, and it's still pretty green, so we're gonna wait a little longer for this one, but it's huge, huge. And another one growing here, and another one growing here, and another smaller one growing here. And all of these vines here, as you can see, they're coming from this one plant right here. There is probably 1 or 2 big stems that sprouted from here, and that's it. And look at that, you can see here, this is an avocado plant that just grew from the compost. So stuff just grows from the compost here, and they feed the plants. And all of these vines that you see here are just coming from this one vine. So that's why butternut squash is so easy to grow. All right, so here's our butternut squash. It's that one that has the cut that I just let it grow. So let's see how it looks inside. Look at the color, how beautiful. Wow, beautiful, beautiful. And look how much flesh. This is all flesh. All of this here is just going to be pure flesh, and the seeds are in here in this bigger part. So let's open this bigger part and see where the seeds are. Here we go. Look at that. There's some seeds here, but still a lot of flesh. So this is really why butternut squash is one of my favorite veggies, because there's just so much flesh in here that, you know, this here is going to give us a lot of butternut squash fries that we're gonna do right now. So let's see. So first of all, you can peel the skin like that. And you see, this is the part where it was kind of damaged, and you can see barely any damage inside. So you can see how tough the skin is to support all of that. See, that's it. So you can either take all the skin off and then cook, or you can also cook and eat with the skin. So I'm gonna do some with the skin and some without the skin, so you can see how each one of those will look like once they're ready. All right, when you have it like this, it's your option now to do however you want. In our case, we're going to fry it in the air fryer. So you can cut it like this to make some rounds, or you can cut in strips, which is actually how I prefer. So let me cut it like this. And then cut it like this. And then I can cut it like that. And these will be our butternut squash fries that are going straight into the air fryer just in a second. The skin here, I'm gonna put in my compost. Going back to the backyard to feed the rest of my plants. So let's finish cutting these up and put them all in the air fryer. I like to put them in a big bowl like this so that we can put some seasoning, some olive oil. Now with this part here where the seeds are inside, you can scoop out the seeds or just cut it first and then scoop out the seeds, which is what I think I'm gonna do, because I think it's going to make the work a lot easier if I just cut it first. So let's do that. And I'm also going to leave the skin on this part here so we can, let me just take this part off here, which is a little bitten by bugs. But other than that, I already washed it and we're good to go. So I'm gonna cut it. And you can see all the seeds inside, and we can scoop them out and save them. Although I already have a ton of seeds saved from butternut squashes before, so I'm not gonna save these because I already have for many seasons to come. So let's scoop out the seeds from these. You can do it with a knife. Alright, and that's it. All the butternut squash is cut. And look how much we got. Full bowl. This is a lot of butternut squash. And these will be fried in the air fryer and they will be so good. So now our secret is, and this is our recipe, is to sprinkle some olive oil like that. And mix it with my hands, which are washed. And then we like to put lemon pepper, crushed lemon pepper, and salt. So let's do that. And stir again, mix it all up, and crushed lemon pepper. I'm gonna crush a little more here so I can mix and put it back on top. Like that. Mix again. Doesn't really need a lot because butternut squash is very flavorful and kind of sweet, so it's a little bit like sweet potato, but it's a very different taste. If you have not had butternut squash fried like chips, like potato chips, you should try because it is really amazing. Somewhat on the sweet side, like sweet potatoes, but really an amazing flavor. So here we go. So you can see how it looks. So we're ready to put it in the air fryer. So now here's how we put it in the air fryer. Just put a bunch here on the bottom and come take a look inside so you can see. You kind of need to spread it so they're not really touching each other so that the air can flow freely. And this is really the secret for air fryers. We have the top rack here, and then we can place here the butternut squash, making sure that they don't really touch each other so that the air can flow through and cook them all. One thing that I do sometimes is to put it on top like this because there's enough space, so I can definitely put some more. As you can see, I have a bunch here, and this will not all fit in one round of the air fryer, so we'll have to do 2 or 3 rounds. But that's the secret here, just spreading them out so that the air can flow and cook them all. And that's it, that's our secret. In the air fryer, we like to set it for about 10 to 12 minutes. I'm gonna put 10 and check on it, and we also set it to 400. That's it. All right, so it's done. Let's take a look. Look at that. Wow, looks amazing. So let's put them here. And some with the skin. You can see this one here with the skin. It's a little crunchy, so that should taste pretty good. Let me see. Sweet. Very good. Oh, let's enjoy a beer. Cheers! Let me know if you like butternut squash, because here at home we love it. It's one of our favorites. Let me know in the comments below if you ever had it, if you like it, and if you plan on having it in your backyard soon. Thanks for watching and enjoy your garden.